welcome back for another video. My name is Tanya, for those of you that are new here, and I am a watercolor artist and a furniture artist. So you'll be seeing both types of tutorials on this channel. But today I'm going to be showing you how to make translucent flower petals using watercolors. I'm going to be using the Winsor Newton brand and also the Arteza Real Pens. So I hope you enjoy the video. So to start, I'm using my Arches watercolor paper, and I'm actually using the rough. Normally I use the fine, but today I'm going to be using the rough and see how that goes. And I've got my 2 cups of water, one for cool colors, one for warm colors. I've got my Winsor Newton watercolors here, and I'm also going to be using my Arteza Real brush pens. I love these. I know I've done several tutorials on these already, but I can't get enough of these, so I'm going to be using both paints today. And I've got my Grumbacher brushes, a size 3 and a size 7. So we're gonna be doing the anemone flower today, and that's a hard one for me to pronounce, so I'm probably not gonna say it too much in this video. I'm just gonna call it the flower. But we're gonna start out with, I'm starting out with my size 7, and we're gonna be doing kind of those translucent petals on this flower, and then we're gonna get in with a little bit deeper when we get into the center of the flower, and then we'll bring it out with some stems and some leaves. But it's gonna be more of a whimsical effect. I just wanted to kind of show you how to do the layering, the translucent effect with the petals, and then I also wanted to bring in the Arteza brush pens because I get a lot of you commenting on these, and you've really liked my tutorials when I do the Arteza brand. So I am going to be doing that for you. And if you don't have the Arteza brand, that's okay. There's many different brush pens out there, but this is just the brand that I'm used to. All right, so we're gonna be doing some petals, and we're gonna be filling them in. So I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to see this right now because it's just water. There is no paint on my brush. And I'm just doing a petal, and it's almost like a little heart shape. It's almost like a little heart with not too much of a point at the end. And then I'm going to be bringing in, so that was with my size 7. I'm going to be using both my brushes at the same time. I'm going to be using the size 3 right now. I'm going to pick up a little bit of my Winsor green blue, I believe this is. And I'm just going to go around the edge of the shape I just made. And we don't really want to fill it in too much because it is going to be a translucent flower. The petals are going to be very see-through. So I'm just gonna go around. I picked up my, so you could see, so I did my size 7 first, then I went to my size 3 to do my paint, and now I'm blending it in with my size 7 again. So I am gonna be doing both brushes today. So if you have a smaller brush and a larger brush, it might be easier to do this because the larger brush just fills in a little faster, but for the more of my detail, just bringing in the paint, I don't wanna bring in that much paint. That's why I'm using the number 3 for that part. So as you can see, I am not really going in all the way. Most of my petal here is actually the paper color. If you see that you did do too much, just take a paper towel and you can dab off, just pounce it on your paper right in the middle, and you can pick up some of that water and some of that pigment. But I really didn't have that much pigment in the middle of mine. So we're gonna be going and doing another petal. So again, I've got my size 7, and I'm going to be filling it in with just water. So it's another little heart shape, and these 2 petals are not touching. Try not to let them touch at this point. So then I'm going back in with my size 3 and my Winsor green blue, and I'm just going to be kind of outlining it. And it's slowly bleeding in towards the middle. Then I'm going to take my 7 again, and I'm just going to help it along, bleeding more towards the middle. And there's really not that much water on my brush. Now I normally do this with the fine grain paper, so doing it with the rough paper is going to be a little different for me, but I wanted to experiment and see what kind of look I get with that as well. So I'm slowly bleeding it into the middle. I'm just helping it out a little bit. And if you feel that you did too much, go ahead and dab it off. I want my center to be a little bit lighter. So I dabbed it off mostly in my center there. And I'm just gonna clean up my edge here a little bit. There. Then I'm gonna move along and do another one. So my brush is not saturated, it's just damp. And I've got a little of that green blue on my brush, so maybe you can see this petal a little bit more. All right, so I'm doing kind of a heart shape again, just water. And I'm gonna go in, let's see how much, I haven't washed off this brush yet, so I still have some pigment on there. I'm just gonna outline it. I'll pick up more if I think it needs it. I'm just gonna try and outline my heart shape, my little petal. Bringing in just a little bit of water to help it bleed to the middle. So as you can see how translucent these petals are gonna be. So once you start layering them, you're gonna start seeing these petals through the next layer, through the next layer. It's gonna be a really cool effect. Okay. So you want this to be completely dry before you go on to your next flowers. And I made the mistake of not bringing my heat gun with me. I think it's out in the garage. So normally what I would do is I would heat this up, dry it real nice. But since I don't have it, I am gonna go on and just do another little flower next to it while this one dries. So I'm gonna do the same thing, just water, and I'm gonna do a little heart shape again. Okay, and I'm gonna pick up a little bit more of my green blue. I'm just gonna do these the same color flowers. I'm gonna outline it. And see how it's bleeding in the middle already? Because I had a little bit more water on my brush when with my number 7 at the beginning. But now I'm gonna help it along again. So that was with my number 3 brush, going back to my number 7, helping it along a little bit. And let's make this one a little bit darker. We'll make this flower, there's a little fuzz in there. Let's make this flower a little bit darker than this one, just so they don't look exactly the same. So I am not going to dab this one off with my paper towel. I'm just gonna leave it this green color. All right, wash off my brush, do another heart. So see the difference? I think this one I'm gonna leave like that, and this one I'm gonna leave like that, just to show you the difference. So if I went in over with those dots with some water, it kind of blends it out. Otherwise, if you don't go over it with water, it gives you a little bit more detail. So it just depends on what kind of look you're going for. And I'm gonna blend this out just a little bit more. There. All right, and I'm gonna show you one more little trick. So to me, this is a beautiful little painting, but I wanna add a little bit of maybe a little bit of a splatter paint to it. So oh, you know what, one more thing before we do that. I wanted to go over the stems a little bit with some orange. So I'm just taking the same orange that I had done in the middle, and I'm just going over just the middle of the stems here, or the leaves, I should say. So just a little bit of the leaf. Blend that out a little bit. Just gives it a little bit more dimension. There, really pretty. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you. So I'm gonna take my big brush and I'm gonna saturate my paint here. And this is just the first green that I had used, that Winsor green blue. Get it nice and watery. All right, and I'm gonna get a good amount on my brush, and then I'm just gonna tap it off. And you can do as much or as little as you want. I think it just adds a little bit more interest to the painting. There, I love it. Perfect. That's a nice whimsical little painting right there. Thanks so much for watching the video. I hope you liked it and learned a little something. And if you did like it, please give me a thumbs up, and you can leave me a comment in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more up-to-date videos. Have a great day. Bye.